planned amendments to the Data Protection and Digital Information Bill by the UK government have sparked recent debate across Parliament on whether or not it is necessary to include monitoring the bank accounts of those in receipt of the state pension. The Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, has said that the new proposals aim to reduce fraud and error in the benefits system. During the Work and Pensions Committee's inquiry into benefit levels in the UK on Wednesday, chair of the cross-party group of MPs, Sir Stephen Timms sought clarity on the need to look into bank accounts of everybody claiming the state pension from the Secretary of State for Work and Pensions, Mel Stride. Mr. Stride responded that he wasn't sure that they would look into everyone's accounts and the aim was to drive down the small amount of fraud within the pensions space. The East Ham MP pressed the point that you won't find out about fraud by looking into people's bank accounts. He continued, "It's come as a great surprise to a lot of people that the government thinks it's appropriate to take powers to look into the bank accounts of everybody claiming the state pension." DWP Director General for Labour Market Policy and Implementation Catherine Green explained how the powers are about enacting the government's fraud plan, published in May 2022, to tackle the nearly £9 billion fraud issue. She continued, "I think, as the Secretary of State has said, it's simply that the power is constructed in a way that would allow that, should that be necessary, should there be future evidence. We would not expect that at all, as we know and as the published statistics and the annual report and accounts say, most of the fraud we're experiencing is within the UC, Universal Credit, system. So this is absolutely not a particular intention right now at all to access or to delve into the accounts of pensions specifically. We know where the fraud is, we know what we want to prioritize, and it's within Universal Credit, and that's absolutely what we would intend to prioritize." Labour MP Debbie Abrahams pressed the DWP for specific examples of when it would be appropriate to look into a state pension bank account. She asked, "What are the circumstances where you would want to look into somebody's account on the state pension?" The DWP's Director General for Disability, Health and Pensions Katie Farrington said suspicions might arise if there were lots and lots of transactions being carried out in a different country by retirees living abroad. She told the committee, "At the moment, we do not see large evidence of fraud and error in relation to state pension. Where we do see some fraud and error in relation to state pension is about people living abroad, and where the state pension would be frozen. And if you were resident in this country, your state pension would be uprated. So it's a very small number of cases at the moment." She added that the powers would principally target where known fraud and error exists within the Universal Credit system. Ms. Farrington added, "However, we're seeking to take these powers now to give the government freedom and the ability to tackle fraud where it does arise, and there is a very small amount of fraud and error now that arises in relation to the state pension." Pressed by Sir Stephen on the ability to find out where people are living just by looking into their bank account, she clarified, "No, it's not that. It's if you were to see lots and lots of transactions being carried out in a different country." Mel Stride said, "We expect these measures to reduce fraud and error by about £600 million over the next 5 years, which is an important point for the taxpayer and people having confidence in the system." He added, "We wouldn't be exercising these powers on any other grounds, other than, that there was a signal given, in terms of the data that we were seeking, that there could be, or a reasonable expectation there might be, error and fraud involved. I think the evolution point is very important, so whilst at the moment there is a very low level, relatively, of fraud in the pension space, it's not inconceivable that at some time in the future that might change." This is all subject to the affirmative procedure and the statutory instrument going through the House, so it would finally be for the House to decide whether these measures were proportionate and acceptable. Get the latest record money news. Join the conversation on our Money Saving Scotland Facebook group for energy and money saving tips, the latest benefits news, consumer help and advice on coping with the cost of living crisis. Sign up to our Record Money newsletter and get the top stories sent to your inbox daily from Monday to Friday, including a special cost of living edition on a Thursday. Sign up here. You can also follow us on X, formerly Twitter, at @recordmoney_ for regular updates throughout the day. Join the Daily Records WhatsApp community here and get the latest news sent straight to your messages.